Hello and welcome to another gameplay review video. I will now play and review the game called Cassiculus, which is the second game developed by Craig Lawrence and Lockley Games. It is a free game on Steam like his first game, Golgotha, which I have already reviewed. This game mostly takes place in a cave system, where cavers go missing and you must find them. Along the way, you encounter man-eating spiders and other horror elements. So, I hope you enjoy this short game, and let's begin. Okay, here we are at the little parking area along the trail to the cabins, where we'll be headed first. Mungami Forest Cabin, Oberon Caves. Now, I'll make my way to the cabin to see if my friends are there. I should rest up before I head for the cave, so I gotta get to the cabin. There's a wolf pack up there, and a rabbit right here. Looks like there's a cabin up there. The key for the generator must be around here somewhere. Okay, the power needs to be turned on, so I can't turn on the lamp. Looks like nobody is here.
He either changes senilely or falls into the long trances
The key. So, I gotta get to the generator, which is outside on the generator box. turn on the lamp.
Walls and rail ceilings.
Bedroom. Neat little cabin here. Oh, VHS. VHS reader. And the TV. Looks like an old one. Some books. Okay. A radio.
I lived in dark bungalows where the last entry in the visitor's book was 15 months old, and where they slashed off the curry kid's head with a sword. It was my good luck to meet all sorts of men, from sober traveling missionaries and deserters flying from British regiments, to drunken loafers who threw whiskey bottles at all who passed, and my still greater good fortune to just escape a maternity case, saying that a fair proportion of the tragedy of our lives out here acted itself in dark bungalows. I wondered that I had met no ghosts. A ghost that would voluntarily hang about a dark bungalow would be mad, of course. But so many men have died mad in dark bungalows that there must be a fair percentage of lunatic ghosts. In due time I found my ghost, or ghosts, rather, for there were two of them. Up till that hour, I had sympathized with Mr. Besant's method of handling them, as shown in the strange case of Mr. Lucraft and other stories. I am now in the opposition. We will call the bungalow Katmandak Bungalow, but that was the smallest part of the whole. A man with a sensitive hide has no right to sleep in dark bungalows. He should marry. Katmandak Bungalow was old and rotten and unrepaired. The floor was of worn brick. The walls were filthy, and the windows were nearly black with grime. It stood on a bypath largely used by native sub-deputy assistants of all kinds, from finance to forests. But real sahibs were rare. The Khansama, who was nearly bent double with old age, said so. When I arrived, there was a fitful, undecided rain on the face of the land, accompanied by a restless wind, and every gust made a noise like the rattling of dry bones in the stiff holly palms outside. The Khansama completely lost his head on my arrival. He had served a sahib once. Did I know that sahib? He gave me the name of a well-known man who has been buried for more than a quarter of a century, and showed me an ancient daguerreotype of that man in his prehistoric youth. I had seen a steel engraving of him at the head of a double volume of memoirs a month before, and I felt ancient beyond telling. The day shut in, and the Khansama went to get me food. He did not go through the pretense of calling it khana, man's victuals. He said ratu.
And you have been listening
that
to
means,
the radio,
among
some
other
story
things,
that she's
grub.
telling.
Dog's
Just
rations.
wanted to listen to that a couple
There
minutes.
was no insult.
Look, here's a note. Let's read it. A note from Ollie. Hey bro, I've tried calling and texting, but I haven't heard nothing back. We don't want to be behind schedule, so we are going to set off at 2 p.m. as planned. When you read this letter, call me and we can arrange to meet up in the cave. Signed, Ollie. So gotta call Ollie.
The person you are calling is currently unavailable.
Yeah, answer your phone, Ollie. Well, grab the sledgehammer. Let me add the lighter. time to rest until the morning. There's a bed where I can get some rest.
A dozen jackals went through the compound singing, and a hyena stood afar off and mocked them. A hyena would convince the Sadducee of the resurrection of the dead, the worst sort of dead. Then came the Ratub, a curious meal, half native and half English in composition, with the old Khanshama babbling behind my chair about dead and gone English people, and the wind-blown candles playing Shadow Bo Peep with the bed and the mosquito curtains. It was just the sort of dinner and evening to make a man think of every single one of his past sins, and of all the...
Okay. Let's go to sleep. We're now going to enter the cave. Looks like the cave caved in. The only way to go is forward. So I'm going to now descend into the cave and see what's down here. Gotta find Ollie and the others. There are torches in this cave. Looks like there's a rock obstruction up here, so I gotta remove it with my sledgehammer. A Polaroid picture. Looks like someone dropped a Polaroid picture down here. I gotta get the rope and climb down. Another Polaroid picture. It must be them. Looks like that was taken at the top of that hole that I just descended down. Gotta get out my sledgehammer and clear this away. But what was that? Nothing back here. Luckily, I have this sledgehammer handy. Polaroid picture. That's them descending down the hole. So they must have come this way. Gotta go jump down here. Another cave in. Wooden handled torch. Let's examine this. This should burn the vegetation. Take that. And a little pool there. Looks like those are tree trunks. Tree roots. Okay, now what you can do is you can go to inventory, click combine, and combine to create the burning torch. You combine the lighter with the torch for the burning torch. This will burn the vegetation and allow me to continue on. Use. There must be a way across. Find a way across the passage. Perhaps a loose rock will help me. Oh, there it is. Flashlight died. Not good. What's that? There we go, finally. This better not switch off again. An empty backpack. Polaroid picture. Ollie and some other guy. Leighton, that's Ollie and Leighton. Leighton's Polaroid camera. That's his Polaroid camera. Leighton's flashlight. Leighton's diary. Looks like they took some pictures. Let's read the diary. We had finally arrived at the cabin after a long and tiresome drive. Stephen and Ollie had a few beers and listened to some music as we sat around the camp fireplace. I didn't want to drink much, as the thought of being hungover during a caving expedition was the last thing I would have wanted. The journey to Oberon Caves had begun. We found it a lot more difficult than first thought. Ollie had lost his footing multiple times and Stephen was getting tired. We stopped momentarily to catch our breath. It felt as though we were not alone. As we traveled through the cave system, I heard some very strange noises. I was even sure I'd seen something in the distance shifting between the rocks. The others thought I was imagining things that weren't there. I hope they're right. Okay, so there's something in this cave. I knew I saw something going around down here. Look at all these cobwebs. I wonder where the spiderwebs came from. Wow, that was a big spider. Well, I've got to find Ollie and his friends and get out of this cave. Wow, that's a big spider. Anything back here? That's a dead end. Climb down here. Looks like this big cavern here. Look at all these webs. Really big. There's an opening right there to the sky. See the sky there.
Hey! Hey! Over here! Oh my god, Patrick! Is that you? Leighton! Where's Ollie and Steve? We need to get out of this cave! Right now! I don't know! I can't find them! I lost them hours ago! Leighton! Behind you! Move it! Run!
try to get out of here. I'm gonna find the exit. Cave snake. Looks like it's an old mine shaft or something. There's a backpack. It's a camcorder, Steve's camcorder. like there's this tunnel right here. Looks like this is some sort of a burrow. Maybe the spiders dug it. Taking Steve's cap. I found Steve. Looks like we're in a giant chamber. Some ancient ruins here. Those lava pots look significant. These ancient stones must be burned in the right order to unlock the door. Angel of Death on both sides. Okay. Let's try that. Let's try that. These have to go in the right order. Let's put this. You just keep trying things until they work. Okay, how about this? That unlocked it. Follow the cave.
Ollie? Ollie! Ollie, it's me, Patrick. Can you hear me? It's good to see you too. Come on, we're leaving now. Let's get out of this fucking cave.
Well, that is the conclusion of the game Cassiculus by Craig Lawrence and Lockley Games. I hope you've enjoyed it. This is their latest game to the date of this recording. If they make any new games, I will review those as well. So, it's pretty good for being free. So, that is it for this gameplay and review video. And I'll hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.